Justin Boone from theScore here. Last week, we took advantage of the trade deadline, got ahead of things, went out and got Courtland Sutton. Hopefully you listened to me and went out and picked up Courtland Sutton because his fantasy value has skyrocketed after they traded away Demaryius Thomas. This week, I want to try to capitalize on all the teams that are on bye. There are 6 teams sitting out this week. That means a lot of fantasy stars not in lineups. And if their owners actually need someone this week, they might have losing records. They might not be able to just have them on the bench for a week. You can capitalize on that. So let's look at 3 players that you might be able to get at a discount because they're on bye this week. And the first, David Johnson. Now, in his first game with new offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich, he had 100 yards from scrimmage, including 41 yards receiving, and we talked about this on the theScore Fantasy Football podcast. My co-host David P. Woods pointed out all 41 of those receiving yards came in the first half of that game. So there is an opportunity for bigger days ahead for him, and his schedule looks fantastic. He has pretty much good matchups all the rest of the season until week 16 in the fantasy championship. He plays the Rams, but if DJ gets you to the fantasy championship, I think you're going to be okay with a move that you make for him this week. Next up, Odell Beckham Jr. Now, Eli Manning has struggled this season, but oddly enough, it hasn't really affected Beckham that much. He's continued to produce for fantasy owners, and we know what kind of player he is, but perception is everything, and his fantasy owners might be worried about Eli. They might be thinking he could continue to play poorly, maybe eventually sink Beckham, or perhaps even get benched. That might throw Beckham off. I don't think so. I think Beckham is a guy who can produce no matter who's under center, catch a slant, turn it upfield. He really can get it done in a variety of ways, and he's another guy with a fantastic schedule, no bad matchups the rest of the season. Might not be the cheapest player to acquire because name value and everything, but I think you should float out an offer, see if you can get him for maybe an RB2 type value. Last guy I want to talk about is Carson Wentz. Now, Carson Wentz, we're not talking about schedule or anything here. We're talking about talent and situation. We know how talented he is, and the Eagles are continuing to get him weapons. They just made a trade to get Golden Tate. He's going to have time over the bye to catch up, get on the same page with Golden Tate, and that's just another talented pass catcher for him to work with. And remember, last year before he got hurt, Wentz was playing at an MVP level. Well, guess what? He's back there this season, has 2 or more touchdown passes in 5 straight games. Wentz is going to be a big fantasy factor in the second half of the season. Go out, see if you can get him at a reduced cost while he's sitting out this week. If you're looking for more fantasy content, make sure that you're checking the theScore app and following me on Twitter @Justin Boone.